Okay, so I'm going to go over how my lesson planning was and the revisions I went through. And I'm just going to have these questions here so I remember. So how effective would you rate my initial planning of the unit? Um, so this was the first time I had dealt with a structured lesson plan and knowing like the big ideas and the formative assessment and the 21st century skills. So for being my first time, I think I was able to implement the ideas well. I still could use some practice in like planning for differentiation in the lesson themselves. So I worked on that in my revisions. So what led to the revisions of the unit plan? So probably the most was, considering areas that I could just stretch a little more, like add some more formative assessments or add some more differentiation, and just kind of be aware of all those 21st century skills. And what insights did you gain from the lesson planning process and teaching a lesson? So kind of one insight was that you can't always predict in your lesson plan. You have your lesson plan, but in the moment something's going to happen, and a student may not understand something, and you might need to take more time in the lesson to explain that. So just to know I think when I'm doing the lesson plans, I need to be cognizant of that, okay, it might change, but at least I have this foundation to build upon. So I'm just going to go through some of my lessons here. So this one was the innovative one, and just a revision here I did was I wanted to add another formative assessment, because here I said students will turn in a one-page analysis on how the author organized the events in his or her writings and the connection made between them. And then the summative assessment was a 3-minute video that shows how the author unfolded. So I think I needed one more formative assessment between the step of the student understanding the one-page analysis and then going straight to the video. So in order to track students better, I think I needed that extra one. 21st century knowledge skills, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. And then also in the I do, we do one, I wanted to add that to show some more examples of shorts films to explain the story and leading a discussion on how the film breaks down events to illustrate the author's intent. So just giving more support for the students to see how it's done, and that more so than just, as I had put, editing a video and showing it, video tools. So then as a class I'll have an example of a story, and then as a class we can all brainstorm together, okay, how could we turn this into a video? What are the ideas addressed? How did the author? So just kind of brainstorm ways with the class after I have examples done. So just kind of draw that out a little more. So that was the main revisions for that one. Let's see. And then for the diversity one, this one I was pretty hashed out. I just wanted to add another discussion question on how you can make your guide more engaging and easy to follow. That was interesting. Again, the 21st century knowledge skills, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. So I wanted to kind of enhance here more in my lesson planning the creativity. I think I was missing a little bit in my plan was, yes, we're talking about diversity and keeping the global perspective in mind in the classroom. However, I think to enforce the 21st century skill of creativity more in this one, in the guide, I think was needed. For the unit plan, here I wanted to focus a little more on differentiation. So I had said here the students will make a successful presentation, but I also wanted to be clear that in my plan I could say, you know, students will take differentiated steps towards that. So just to already set the stage for me to be cognizant and aware that each student's going to need a different avenue to get there if need be. Also, I needed to do formative assessments of the quality of research and source credibility. I had mentioned also in this lesson that I needed to perhaps have an additional lesson on source credibility, so a formative assessment on that would be good. Additional lesson. And then also for differential instruction for English language learners, I will also give them the option to use software in their native language. It might be overwhelming if they're learning a new type of software and having problems with the language, so at least alleviating one of those things will be helpful. And then for the more active learners, kinetic learners, give them an option to have physical activity. Somehow they could maybe film themselves for their presentation or what need be. And then for the advanced students, have them be able to have more sources and create more slides. So keeping the advanced students in mind for the lesson planning there. And lastly, for this lesson plan, where the students will be able to rehearse a 5-minute digital presentation. Again, I'm emphasizing more the 21st century skill of creativity. And also for the activities, I have the gallery walk where the students go around and have a gallery walk to see how their peers are doing for their presentation. But I decided to add another level component besides just seeing the presentation on the computer screen, to also have the students, perhaps 2 or 3 of them, practice it in real time in front of their students, so the students can all see the whole presentation together, because just by looking on the screens they might not actually be able to fully see where their peers are at, but seeing them in action and presenting will make the gallery walk more effective. And then also as the teacher-student input, again providing more examples that have different styles and content, again enhancing the student differentiation. So yes, so that was my lesson planning adventure. So it was fun.